From FXEmpire, this is Chris taking a look at the upcoming 2024 year in the Aussie dollar. Well, a lot of the analysis that I'm doing for 2024 it can be summed up in more of the same. Now, 2023, of course, very noisy. But as we're closing it out, believe it or not, we're about unchanged. And we'll probably be within 100 pips of being unchanged, despite the fact that it has been so noisy all year. And with that being the case, I think you've got a scenario where it's more or less going to be a tale of two markets. That's kind of what I'm calling it. And what I think we're seeing here is the Federal Reserve moving the dots on the dot plot. Very good sign that we're going to cut rates. And that, of course, is bad for the dollar. However, the question is, why are they doing it? Have they truly beat inflation, or is there something bad coming down the road? I suspect this year looks something like that. The 7150-ish area is probably going to be a bit of a barrier. And then I think sometime around spring, or maybe even summer, people are going to start to question, why is the Fed cutting rates all of a sudden? And therefore, there will be worries about some type of recession. If that ends up being the case, especially if it's globally, then that just has us trading in this range. And by the end of the year, I wouldn't be surprised to see us back at 65. That being said, if we can take out 71.5, then we could go to 75. But that's not my base case scenario right now. I think we're going to settle into some type of ugly, choppy, sloppy range here. I think 2024 is going to be very difficult. Right now we are at peak optimism, which is almost always a bad sign. And I don't mean that just in the Aussie. I mean in risk appetite in general. Everybody's talking about how great 2024 is going to be, ignoring the fact that, for example, the NASDAQ 100 is up like 21% since the end of October. It's not normal behavior. So generally, these things can go on longer than you think, but eventually it comes time to pay the price for that type of overexuberance. The so-called smart money will run a market up like we've seen in the Aussie or the stock market. And then they'll tell people, like you retail traders, here, hold my bags. And then the whole thing falls apart. I kind of expect that this year. It's not necessarily anything nefarious. I just think that we're going to get a little overdone here early in the year, and the correction might be kind of nasty.